loud. All right, welcome everyone to our CraveBooks webinar on 5 tips to explode your author newsletter. I'm Carrie Flanagan, and I don't know which side he's showing up on, but next to me is my teammate, Brett. So let me share my screen. Now we're going to introduce ourselves and then I'll share the screen. So I am the event and outreach manager with CraveBooks. So I put together events like this. I reach out to authors, publishers, go to conferences, and just help everybody understand what CraveBooks is. In addition to that, I'm also an author. So I've been an author, freelance writer. I'm a writing consultant. Been in this business for over 20 years. 3 traditionally published books, 20 self-published books, and I work with lots of authors to help them self-publish their books. And I tell you that not to brag or say, look what I did, but to let you know that I understand the challenges that you're going through. So does Brett, because he's also an author. So we understand all these things that we're telling you are things that we've had to do, and we get it. So, and everybody has to start the same way with one book. So we've all been there. So that's a little bit about me. Brett, you can go ahead and share.
Yep. So I'm Brett, and I'm in San Diego, as you guys saw in the chat. And I am a bit of a marketing specialist all over the place for CraveBooks with emails and social media, different stuff like that. And like Carrie mentioned, I am an author, children's book author as well. And yeah, so we definitely do understand your struggles, especially when it comes to newsletter. If you're first getting started, it can be super daunting, just in terms of what to do, where to start, and all of that stuff. So Carrie will be leading most of this, but I will chime in towards the end, and I'll be checking the chat for questions. So if you have any questions, drop them in there. If we can answer them during, we'll do our best, but if not, we'll get to them, all of them at the end. So
yes,
yep.
Absolutely. All right, let me share my screen. All right, hopefully everybody can see that. Okay, let's dive into this. We already did that. You met Brett and I. So the plan for this session is we're going to look at, what do you need to do to sign up for an email service provider? I'll show you some different options. Creating a sign-up page, consistency in your newsletters, how do you create engaging content, and how do you grow your list? And then at the end, Brett is going to talk to you a little bit about our upcoming Book Ninja Summit, which is a 1-day online book marketing conference that I am very excited about. We both are. So just a little bit about my newsletter story, because as I said, I'm also an author, so I understand what it is you are going through as authors. I would say like 5 years ago, I started working with a co-author, and we write sci-fi and fantasy. And we had already published probably about 2 books, and we did not have a newsletter. And it's funny because I write articles, and a lot of the articles I write are about writing. And I've written articles on how important it is to have a newsletter, yet I did not have one. We did not have one for our books. And probably the same reasons, if you don't have one, it seems like it'll be time consuming. You know, you can't think of things to put in it. There are so many aspects that seem scary and overwhelming. So I thought, well, we won't need one. We'll just market, and that will help our books. We don't need the newsletter. Well, that didn't work out so well. So what we did, and there's a picture there, we were at a Comic-Con, and, I had a little clipboard out, and people sign up on our newsletter. So we got about 40 people. I'm like, okay, well, now what? I guess we better do something with that. And at that moment, we decided that we were going to commit to doing a newsletter and see if that would help continue to stay connected with our readers. So we took those 40 emails that we had, and then over probably about 18 months, 2 years, grew that to a couple thousand emails. And then now we are over 5,000 emails. And it really helps us to stay connected. And it's no longer this huge burden that I thought it would be. At the beginning, it was a little daunting, I have to admit, but after you do it for a little while, it becomes a habit and you get more comfortable with what you can include in there. And you just kind of copy the one before, just change the content, and it works well. And I don't want to freak you out and go, oh, you have to have 5,000 for an effective newsletter. I have another newsletter that I send out about once a month. That's to other writers that I have met at writers conferences or through classes that I teach. I have about 700 on that one. And that works just as well too, because they're a very engaged group, because it's people that I've met over the years. So don't think that you have to have thousands in order to be an effective newsletter. What it needs to be is engaging and something that your readers want to open. So there you go. Now, I'm going to share with you some of the things that we did and why email marketing is so important. So email marketing is permission marketing. So when somebody signs up on your newsletter page, somebody gives you their email at an event, they're giving you permission to market to them. So they're not as likely to, delete your email or right away. They will probably open it, and then it's up to you to keep them engaged. You have control of the message that you send out in your newsletters. And it keeps you in front of your readers, which is what you want in between book launches. You're not going to be launching a book every 2 weeks. I don't think so anyway. If you are, oh my goodness, that you're a writing machine. But you want to be able to have your readers think of you in between those book launches and keep top of mind awareness. So when your next book launches, you can share that with them. But also, if somebody's asking the people on your list, hey, they have a friend who says, I need a new book to read. Well, you may pop up in their mind and like, well, I know this author, you might want to check them out. So it's not just about selling books to the people on your list. It's also about having them share about you and your books. All right. Okay. Who should have a newsletter? Authors, which is all of you. Authors looking to connect with readers in an authentic way. Authors who are going to continue publishing. If you're just looking at putting out one fiction book, one memoir, that's fantastic. But if that's it, you may, your time may be spent better doing other types of marketing. It just depends. Nonfiction's a little different because you can have one nonfiction book and continue to stay connected with readers, because nonfiction is more about, sharing your expertise in something. But if you're doing just one novel, then maybe newsletters aren't for you. If you want to sell more books, it is a way, definitely a way to do that. So let's jump in to email service provider. You could do Google like Gmail at the beginning, but once you get like over 50 emails, Gmail is going to start cracking down and not let you send out emails plus an email through like Gmail or Yahoo or anything like that. You can't really add the fun things that you can through a program like MailerLite, MailChimp, Constant Contact, SendFox. There's others out there, but these are main ones that you will see. When you're trying to decide which one to go with, think about your budget and what you can afford now, but also think short-term and long-term, because you can change service providers, but it can be a little bit of a hassle. I did that because I did MailChimp for a while. And then as my list grew, the pricing got a little strange for me anyway on MailChimp. So I changed to MailerLite. Could I do it? Yes, but it's just a matter of then getting used to another program. So research them and think about what it is you want from your email program. As you can see here, a lot of them, when you first start out, they will give you, the account will be free. So MailerLite is free up to 1,000 subscribers, MailChimp up to 500, SendFox up to 500, and then Constant Contact has a fee right away. So look at them and look at what they're offering. All right, so on your, like on your website or different places, you want to be able to direct people to a sign up page. It makes it easy for readers to join your newsletter list. Yes, you can have the sign up sheet like at a Comic-Con or something like that, but it's much easier if you can send readers to a sign up page where they just have to enter their name and email, and it automatically goes into your email service provider. So it automatically integrates with MailerLite or MailChimp. Just like that, automatically gets added. And then you can also create an automation sequence to stay connected with them. And what that means is once somebody signs up on your newsletter, it triggers these automatic emails that you have set up ahead of time. The first one might be welcome to my welcome to my club. For us, it's welcome to the C.G. Harris Legion. And then a little bit about us. And then maybe 2 days later, you want to send another one. It's like, hey, I want to give you this free book, or have you checked out my website? Or did you know I have audiobooks? So you can set up an automatic sequence, from 1 to 5 emails, and they can go out. You decide how much they're spaced out. So, you can do one right away, one after a couple days, maybe one in a couple weeks to check in. And something that's always good is to give them something for free. If you have one book out there, don't give that book away for free. Find something else that you can give for free. Maybe you have a short story that you can give them. Just think about something that's related to your writing and your writing style. If you write nonfiction, maybe you have some resources that you can share with people as something that you can give them. An article you've written, if you write a cookbook, maybe you have 10 recipes you want to share. So look at that. Here's the one on my writing page. So it just says, sign up for my monthly newsletter filled with writing, inspiration, resources, and news. Plus, you'll get my article, 10 surefire ways to strengthen your writing. So once they sign up for that, they automatically get that PDF for the article. All right, number 2 is be consistent. It keeps that top of the mind awareness. It gets them, I feel like, more apt to open your emails. It deepens that connection with your reader. And when you're looking at what you want to do, keep a realistic send schedule. You may be very excited at the beginning after we talk about this, and you're like, yes, I can do this. And you're like, I'm going to do it every 3 days. Well, that might be a lot at the beginning. Once a week might be a lot at the beginning. So maybe you want to start with once a month, or Chuck and I, we do ours twice a month. My writing one, once a month is when I do that one. So think about what's going to fit in your schedule so that you can be successful. You don't want to set yourself up to not be successful and then get discouraged and then not do it at all. So whatever it is, stick to it. You can always add more. So if you start with once a month and you're like, okay, that works. Maybe after 6 months, you're like, okay, I'm going to try twice a month, and then go from there. And if you have something special to share, you don't have to stick to that exact schedule. Maybe you have a book launch, or you're at a conference and you want to share. So that's okay to send some additional emails. Consistency. I already said that one, didn't I? Okay. Well, this one should say content. I'm just going to do 10 ideas for content, because that's something that people always say, like, I have no idea what to put in a newsletter. So updates about your current work in progress. So share with your readers what you're working on. And if you want to give them little excerpts, go for it. If you want to tell them where you came up with the ideas for a character, maybe a behind the scenes of the characters or locations. I've done that before where you're like, this book takes place or is based in this area, and share a little bit about that. You can share something personal about you. You don't have to. So I'm not saying that your newsletter, you have to share all about your kids and everything. Share what you're comfortable sharing. But you can, share about trips and your pets or hobbies. You can reward your newsletter readers with special gifts. Maybe you have some digital art that you want to share or deleted chapters. If you did any interesting research for a nonfiction book, put that in there. Brett writes for children, he has stuff that his newsletter readers can print out for the children in their lives. So think about every now and then giving them something special. You can always link to other articles, so the content doesn't always have to be yours if you found an interesting article related to your genre or your content. Fun facts. Why not, right? We all need to brush up on fun facts. So if we ever get on Jeopardy, recipes are fun to include. And obviously links to your books. You don't have to do that every time. Your newsletter should not be focused every single time on buy my book. Here's my book. Here's my book again, because they'll know that after subscribing for a while. You can do newsletter swaps, and I'll explain a little bit more about that in a minute, as well as group promotions. So this is an example of my newsletter that for CG Harris, so the one Chuck and I do. So usually at the beginning, we just do a couple paragraphs of something. And this was talking about a Kickstarter campaign that we were doing with an origin story for a series. So we've done lots of different things, but it's usually not very long, just a few paragraphs at the beginning. We do put useless trivia in every time, and then a drink of the week, or that's related to our urban fantasy series, because there's a bar in hell called Hula Harry's. So we always just do a different drink. And then have links to these group promotions where our readers can get free sci-fi and fantasy books, or sci-fi and fantasy books that are, on sale. And with these group promotions, we do those through Story Origin or Book Funnel. And it's really easy to set up in there where you just, apply to be part of that. And then it provides some value to my readers because they get some free books. And it's, once again, not always just about our books. And then this is what a newsletter swap looks like. So you're going to mention other books in your genre. Definitely keep it in your genre, and put a link to that. And then these authors are sharing our books in their newsletter. So that's a good way to reach new readers and also help other authors, because we are not in competition with each other as authors. There are plenty of readers to go around. Readers don't just buy one book and then never read again. So there's plenty of room. So it's great when we can help each other out and share. So how do you grow your list? So you've got your email service provider. You have an idea what you want to put in there. You need to collect those emails. So like I mentioned, you can do in-person events and collect those. QR codes are great. So you could either have people write down their email, or you can have a QR code that says, hey, if you sign up for my newsletter here, you will get this. And then that way they enter it in and you don't have to worry about doing it by hand later. As I mentioned, newsletter swaps, because you're going to swap with another author. Your sales link will be in there, so their readers can go get the sales link or to your newsletter page. A reader magnet. A reader magnet is a free piece of digital content that you give readers in exchange for their email. So like I said, you can do a free book, a free short story, something to get them excited about something that you've written, and then you get their email. And on CraveBooks, I don't know how many of you have a CraveBooks account, but we have the ability to house your reader magnet on the site if you're a gold and platinum member, and it would be there and you can direct readers right to that. And then the reader would claim their book and then you get that email. And then something that we also have on CraveBooks is list building giveaways. Other companies do as well, but I'm going to show you how ours works since this is a CraveBooks event. The purpose of the list building giveaways is to get reader emails to add to your list. That's what this whole thing has been about. And grow your list. So if you don't have a list yet, this is a great way to get a good foundation going. Or if you want to build your list. So remember I said we went from 40 emails to now over 5,000, and it was through a reader magnet, list building giveaways, all these things that I've talked about. So this is what our CraveBooks list building giveaways look like. So the way it works is, as an author, you sign up, you're signing up so that you can get the emails of the readers who are signing up for these contests. So the readers are entering the giveaway for a Kindle. In most of them, we've also added audiobooks. So we're not doing a Kindle for that. We're giving away the audiobooks of the participating authors. And then the ebooks of the participating authors. We are guaranteeing, now we're guaranteeing 250 emails because these have been going so well. But most of the time, it's 300 or 400 emails that you're going to get. Will some people unsubscribe because they were just signing up with the hopes of getting all the audiobooks or the Kindles? Yes. We understand. It's just the way it is. So hopefully the majority of those people stay on your list. And once they're there, reach out to them right away, segment that list, and, maybe provide them something else, your reader magnet if they didn't win your book. Just keep them engaged and they're more apt to stay there longer. And when you're doing these giveaways, you're not giving away a book to everybody who signs up. You're just giving away 3, one to the grand prize winner and then to 2 other winners. So you may get 300, 400 emails, but you've given away 3 copies of your book. And we take care of that all through the system. So you're not having to worry about emailing anybody, and we are not emailing your ebook file. It's all done through the dashboard on CraveBooks so that your file stays secure. We add new ones each week in different genres. We keep it genre specific so you're more likely to get readers who enjoy your book. Oh, and then the way we get new readers, so it's not just the same readers all the time, is we will run Facebook ads for a couple weeks in there. So authors have 3 weeks to sign up, and then we run Facebook ads for 2 weeks, highlighting the books that are part of the giveaway and the genre. Okay. I talked through a lot, but we're going to be here for questions too, but I'm going to turn this over to Brett for a minute so he can share. So if you have questions on newsletters, think about those. And I'm going to give you just the final tips here at the end in just a second. All right, Britt.
And then you have control of the screen, Carrie. So if you
Yes.
could do the clicking, that would be awesome. Okay. Well, we have the Book Ninja Summit coming up, and we'll get into this before we get into our questions and our final tips for email newsletters. And this is starting on May 11th. So this is this Saturday coming up. It's an online conference, so you can basically stay in comfort of your own home. You don't have to travel to another state or go to a in-person event, which are fun, but it's always nice to be able to sit in your PJs and get all this good book marketing knowledge. So this is going to focus on book marketing and basically to help you increase your book sales. And we've got 6 speakers lined up. Carrie is one of them, and they each have about 45 minutes to an hour. They'll be giving their talk on their different areas of expertise. And there will also be a live Q&A. So if you are there live, then you will get to ask questions during the event. And for anyone that signs up, if you can't make it this Saturday, There's also the recording. So you'll get the recording with that, plus 5 different bonuses, which we'll get to. And so some of the experts are Mark Leslie Lefebvre, and he's going to be talking about going wide. And going wide is more than you think, and it's easier than you think. And it's not just getting into retail stores, there's libraries and subscriptions. So you're going to be learning how to go wide, why you should go wide, and get your books out there worldwide, because not everybody out there can buy your book if it's on Amazon, because there's dozens and dozens of countries that Amazon is not servicing. So you need to find the other retailers and other ways to get your book out to these people. And I always say it helps because um, competing authors aren't able to get to this market. And I know Carrie just mentioned that we're not competing, but that's just my sports background. And I've probably recommended more authors' books than I've recommended my own. But Mark is going to be talking about going wide, and he's going to guide you step by step on the whole publishing landscape outside of Amazon to maximize your exposure and avoid different common mistakes that can be costly and are easily avoidable. We have Derek Doepicker, and I think Doepicker is how you pronounce his name. I'll have to ask him, but he's going over book launches, which are super, super important and crucial when you are first launching your book, because you want to have that strong foundation, especially when it comes to reviews and your rank on sites like Amazon. That's going to play a huge role to get your book ranking. So you really want to set a strong foundation. And Derek has a cool book launch formula, and he has gone from dead broke to selling thousands of books. And he's kind of found a way with, it's kind of a perfect combination of bonuses and freebies and discounts that you can use to entice your readers to join your launch team. And he'll be telling you which ones to use, which ones you shouldn't use to build this killer launch team and launch your book and make sure that your book is ranking, because you don't want to have a 1 day killer book launch and then everything else dies down. So he's going to be going over that, how to launch your book, email marketing when you're launching your book. He'll be talking about that and how many emails you should be sending to your audience, which is more than you think. And I've heard of some authors sending 4 or 5 emails a day the week leading up to their book launch. So Derek's going to give you his recommendation and the exact number he would say for sending emails during that book launch. And then we have Lori Cooper, and Lori Cooper is not an author, but she's more of a marketing expert and online marketing expert, to be specific. So she's going to kind of dish out her secrets and her easy to use marketing system that's going to help basically magnetize your readers and stop them from scrolling past your content. Like I said, she's all about online. So she'll show you how to critically look at your content to help you assess your weaknesses and make sure that readers are clicking on your books. And one thing she mentions is 3-second social, because our attention spans are super, super short. You don't have very much time to stop your readers on your book and make them click. So she's going to be talking about that and your online presence and how you can increase your online presence and visibility and grow your book sales that way. Then we have, I'm not sure, I think Melissa might be fourth on the agenda, but
Yeah, she
Mike,
is.
yeah, so, but yeah, we're going to get Michael. He'll be talking about elevating your publishing mindset, which is really important. Both Michael and Melissa, not the same, but less of a, here's your ad strategy. They're going to be talking about mindset. Mike will be talking about how to overcome your failures, what you can do to use those failures, what are good goals and bad goals you should be setting as a writer to improve your productivity, because I know we all hate to end the day with Netflix knowing we haven't done anything, and I hate that feeling when I have not gotten done what I need to get done, whether it's writing or book marketing. So he's going to be talking all about that and the 3 unexpected areas in your writing life that are going to hold you back if you don't confront them head on and take them on and take control. So, which is super important in the long run, because if you don't have a great publishing mindset, it's going to be that much harder to motivate yourself to do the stuff that's necessary to be a six-figure author. And then, yeah, Melissa, she is a six-figure author, and she's kind of developed a unique perspective through her career and a strong foundation of publishing skills. And so she's not going to be talking about a specific ad strategy or anything like that. She's going to be talking about what it's going to take for you to find out where you're going so that you can build a sustainable author business around you. If you're in it just for the money, it might be very short. I mean, we all want to make money, but your goal should be to build a sustainable author business and not some quick get rich quick scheme, because as most authors know, it is not easy to get rich quick with a book unless you're Jimmy Fallon or someone like that, in which case you're already rich. So she's going to be talking about different stuff like that. How do you focus in on yourself and what's going to help you, drive you to continue, and things like how to avoid burnout as an author. That way you'll be able to maintain your book sales and your productivity and consistent monthly revenue. So those two, Michael and Melissa, are going to kind of be on the same level, and the other three have their strategies as well. So, and then also Carrie will be talking. She will be speaking on book promotions and how to promote your book in different ways you can do that, which is super important, because if you're not promoting your book, unless you have a Harry Potter worthy book, which is very rare, and I'm not saying that you don't, but it is just very rare to have one of those books. We all need to continuously promote our books. So those are the experts you're going to be learning from, and some of them, well, actually all of them, minus Carrie. Sorry, Carrie. Decided
I
to
can
give
still
you
provide
guys
something.
decided to give you guys a bonus. So you've got 5 bonuses. 3 of them are books. So Mark is providing his book. Derek and Michael are also providing their books, which are I think paperback value is about $20. And so you'll get those for free when you sign up for the Book Ninja Summit. And then Melissa and Lori have their PDFs, which are Crash Course and Online Advertising. And then same thing, Melissa, to go with her topic, is knowing yourself as an author, building that foundation around you, and not just here's a strategy, understanding yourself. So you get all of these bonuses, plus all 6 of the speakers you'll be listening to and the recording. So you'll be able to go back and listen to that. Or if you have to do stuff on Saturday, you got your kids' game, baseball game, you don't even have to worry. You'll get it as the recording. And so all these speakers are definitely cost more than what we're charging. So the total value of this would be around $639. And to be honest, we pay the speakers a bit more than that. But we've cut it down because we know how important it is for indie authors who are just getting started, and may not have big, huge budgets, and may not be able to go to these in-person conferences, which charge $2,000 and $3,000 to get all of that marketing knowledge. And some of those in-person events is not condensed marketing. It's an overall publishing event. So we've taken everything and we've condensed it into just book marketing, and we brought it to you online for just $59. And like I said, these speakers are amazing. They're all experts in what they're talking about, and the total value is $639. So we want to make sure that everyone has accessibility to this Book Ninja Summit. That way you can use these strategies and you can put them into action after the summit. They're all practical, and you'll be able to increase your book sales. If you haven't published yet, you'll know exactly what to do when you do publish to be successful and avoid all of those pitfalls that can be very costly. And then finally, if you are a
Oh.
CraveBooks member, a platinum member, yearly member, you get the Book Ninja Summit for free. So that's just a bonus perk for being a CraveBooks Platinum member, and that'll save you money. And you'll get
All of
all of the
them.
Book Ninja Summits. So if we have 4 Book Ninja Summits a year, then you'll get 4 Book Ninja Summits for free.
Yep.
So that's just one of the bonuses. So yeah, after this, we'll drop the link in the chat, and you can go over and check out the website and sign up over there if you want. So Carrie, back to you, and
All right.
we'll wrap this up. And if there's any questions, yep.
Yep. Thank you. All right. So jumping back to our newsletters, final tips for newsletter. Oh, come on. Okay. All right. Well, they're gonna all show up at the same time. Clean your list a few times a year. So through MailerLite, MailChimp, you can click something that says clean the list, and it'll say like people who haven't opened an email for the past 6 months, you want to delete them. And the reason you want to clean your list is because you typically are paying for the amount of people on your list. So if you're keeping all this dead weight on there, you're paying for them. Plus, it affects your open rate on your emails. So if they're not opening anything, it's going to impact that. So it's always just a good idea just to clean house a couple of times a year. And just to reiterate, be consistent and realistic with your sending schedule. Put it on your calendar, do whatever you need to so that it is consistent. And then at book launch time or those special times, then obviously you can send out more. But anyway, it's just a good idea. Keep creating that engaging content, whatever that is for you. I was reading recently, there was a podcast with an author who was doing like serialized fiction. So he would put in a little bit of a story, and then the next newsletter is the next part. So it was a way to keep his readers engaged, which I think is a fantastic idea. Engage with your readers. So if somebody comments on something in your newsletter and they take the time to respond, then you need to take the time to respond back to them. It doesn't have to be a long email, not a full novel, but just make sure that they know that you received their message and that you heard them, and that helps with that connection with your readers. Be patient. I did not build a list from 40 to 5,000 overnight. That took a couple years. So just be patient, celebrate along the way. So you get to 100. That's worthy of celebrating. You get to 1,000, whatever it is, just be patient and have fun. That's why we're in this, right? We want to connect with readers through our writing. So we should think of our newsletters the same way. It's just another way to connect with them. And it just helps in the long run to build those long-term relationships. Okay, do we have questions on newsletters? So I'm going to stop sharing. I'm also going to stop recording.
There aren't many questions. Pretty